everyone, Stephanie here. I wanted to do my update from my 15-week ultrasound earlier this week. So if you have been following this pregnancy, you will probably already know that at my 12-week ultrasound, we did find out that I already have placenta accreta. And so I'm going to be monitored very closely, and I went back for a 15-week scan they actually did a 3D of the placenta. There was a special doctor that specializes in placenta issues there who did do the scan and talk to us. And there is definitely still a lot of signs of accreta, and I also have complete placenta previa, which isn't great. It basically means that the placenta is fully covering the cervix, and they said it is also fully covering my previous C-section scar. So not the best news, but you know, it was to be expected. We were expecting that anyway. So all right, so where to begin? First of all, the most important thing is the baby is measuring perfectly, looks great. The ultrasound tech did give her guess on gender, which is kind of the gender that I was feeling maybe the baby is, but I kind of go back and forth. But I'm not going to say yet because we still aren't sure. She wouldn't say for sure. So my next scan is at the end of November, and we will be finding out for sure then. Thank goodness this wait has been so long to find out the gender. But I'd love to hear your guesses in the comments. If you want to comment, let me know. Do you think baby's a boy? Do you think the baby's a girl? Let me know your guesses. I'd love to hear what you think. So before I go into more details about what it means because of the accreta and the previa, I will show you pictures of the baby that we got. We didn't get the best pictures. So this picture of the baby's actually on their head. So I'm gonna flip it so it's a little easier to kind of see. So if you look that way, but it's kind of, sorry for the glare. So there is baby. And we got a Halloween type picture. She was in 3D and she went to like an X-ray setting, and this is really creepy. So I call it the Halloween. So the baby, I say the baby dressed up as a skeleton for Halloween. But definitely a creepy picture. You can see all the bones, but also kind of cool. So that is the baby that was just over 15 weeks, and I am actually almost 16 weeks, so 16 weeks tomorrow. Still not really much of a bump over here. Depends on the day, so maybe a little bit, but that's my genes. So yeah, just like with Beckett, I didn't really show much until like 22, 24 weeks. I definitely feel bigger this time, so I do think that it won't be too much longer before the bump happens. But for now, it's kind of just, by the end of the day, it's kind of there, but in the morning, it's not really. All right, so what does it mean having the accreta and the previa? So really, at this point, it is still early. So they won't like officially diagnose me with placenta previa until the next scan. But they said because I have accreta and the placenta is already too deep where it has implanted, the chances of it actually moving away from the cervix are probably very small. So I'm not expecting that to change at all. I will be monitored more closely in Calgary. So that's about 3 hours from where I live. And I guess the biggest issue with that right now is that having placenta previa especially can increase your risk of bleeding in pregnancy, whereas your risk with accreta is more at delivery. So when the placenta tries to detach from the uterus, or when they try to remove it, that's when your risk of hemorrhaging really comes in with accreta. But when you have previa, that's kind of increasing your risk of bleeding or hemorrhaging throughout the rest of the pregnancy as well. So honestly, there's no way to know what's going to happen at this point. We just have to I'm just really going day by day. I could start bleeding tomorrow, or I could start bleeding, at 25 weeks or 28 weeks, or I might not bleed at all. So it's really like, I feel like a ticking time bomb. Like any minute I could just start bleeding and end up, having to be on hospital bed rest or whatever. So it's very stressful. I mean, I'm hoping for the best that doesn't happen, but I'm also, to be honest, terrified of having a bleed when I'm here, like where I live, 3 hours away from the hospital that I need to be at. So if that were to happen, I would go to emergency here, probably by ambulance, depending how bad the bleed is. And then they would assess me and probably airlift me to Calgary if they needed to. So I know that is an option if I do start bleeding, but it's still scary because I know you don't have a lot of time to get things under control if you start hemorrhaging. So I'm trying to just, hope that doesn't happen, and that I can make it without a bleed. But as of now, the doctors that I'm seeing in Calgary, they'll be different, probably each time. They have a set of 5 doctors or so, high risk maternal fetal medicine doctors that look after everybody there. And I've seen 2 so far, and they're both really good. But the lady that we just saw, she said that I would be delivering no later than 35 to 36 weeks. And that's if I don't have a bleed. If I have a bleed, I could either need to move closer to the hospital in Calgary, or I may be hospitalized there depending on the circumstance. If I have no bleeds or no issues from now until then, I might make it until that date and be able to deliver then. But she also said there's a very, very high chance that we will just be going ahead with a C-section hysterectomy and not even trying to save my uterus. So I'm preparing myself mentally for that as much as I can. But I do know that, at this point we have no embryos left anyways, and this was going to be our last shot and our last baby. So if I have to lose my uterus, then I have to lose my uterus, whatever I have to do to save my life and the baby's life. However, it's still not, it's not ideal. It's not like, just not really what you picture or plan. And the surgery is a lot more complicated than a normal hysterectomy or a normal C-section. So we'll see. But some good news is, as of this last scan, there was no bladder invasion. So what happens is the placenta, they can't tell a lot from ultrasound. Like they can have a good idea, but they cannot say for sure 100% if you have accreta, if you have increta, or if you have percreta, which are the 3 stages of it. They can't tell exactly how bad it is, or, like they can have a good idea, but until they're actually in there, they don't always know. So as of now, they don't see any bladder invasion, but that was only 15 weeks. So they said there is still a chance that could happen, especially by my next scan, but really all the way up until delivery. When you have accreta, that placenta can keep growing through and attach to other organs in your body. So we're definitely hoping that does not happen, obviously. But regardless, they will have a team there that I'll be meeting with probably like mid 20 weeks or so. I'll be meeting with the team that will be delivering me probably in the main OR. We'll come up with a plan. Will it be a hysterectomy for sure? Or will they try to just do a C-section? So we'll come up with a plan, and then there'll be lots of people on my delivery team, and hopefully I get to meet with them and feel more confident by the time that comes. And then they will also have people in there ready to do things like bladder resections or surgeries and things like that if that were to happen. So even if they don't see it or think they see it, they're still going to be prepared and ready for that, and they will have the blood on hand and everything ready. So I do feel good that they're on top of it, and that I will have a good team. I guess just having not met any of them yet, or it being still pretty early, it's still a lot of unknowns, and that's kind of tough. So they'll also be doing an MRI later on, probably close to the 3rd trimester. And that's to make sure that the placenta hasn't invaded my cervix as well, because it is covering there. So they want to try to get as much information as they can going into the surgery. So at that rate, I am due April 19th, but sounds like baby will be coming no later than mid-March. And as far as like NICU time for the baby goes, that will just depend. You know, if the baby's born closer to 36 weeks, then there's a good chance that he or she will not need to even go to the NICU, or maybe like for a day or whatever their protocol is. But there's also a chance that if I have bleeds, that the baby could be born at 30, 32 weeks, or earlier like that. So we're just hoping keep baby in, cooking and growing as long as possible at this point in time. As far as restrictions, I am on pelvic rest and restricted exercise. So they did say just take it very easy. So right now I have stopped all of my exercise and I'm just doing some yoga and listening to my body. So, you know, if a stretch doesn't feel right, I just don't do it. But I'll do yoga for now and we'll see what happens at my next scan, and what they kind of say they think I should do next. But yeah, lots to digest, lots of information, lots of people to talk to, and lots of, you know, monitoring coming up. But I feel grateful that I have a good team that will be monitoring me. But there's still so many unknowns that it makes it super hard to just like relax and enjoy things. Feel like I'm just more anxious than anything, you know, with the not knowing. But I will show you the app because I've been showing you up until now. If you're wondering, like, I never do my hair or anything, but I got my hair done last night, and we had family pictures this morning outside, so I'm really excited to get those, hopefully in a few weeks or so. But Beckett looked, oh my god, he looks so cute, so I can't wait to share some of those pictures. But here we go. So this is week 15. That is baby, and if I push this button, sorry, this glare, this button right here shows the actual size of the baby. So that is the actual size of the baby right now. And let's see, the veins have been showing through your baby's skin are becoming less obvious as fat formation begins. There's a close-up of the baby's face, not our baby, but this baby in the app. So you can see the hairs starting, really cool. And I will show you, oh, somehow I moved to week 16. Oh, sorry, that was week 16, which is right now. So I'll go back to week 15. Week 15 was, I think, the picture I showed you, but in week 15, it says the heart is beating regularly on average about 150 beats per minute. And this baby's been anywhere from about 155 to 165 at most appointments. So I don't really believe in the heartbeat gender thing. That's just an old wives' tale. Beckett had a fairly fast heartbeat too. So yeah, so that is it. What else did I want to tell you? I think that's about it. So thanks for checking in. And like I said, my next appointment is at the end of November. So I will do a video and update you then. It's a pretty important appointment because we'll be able to tell, hopefully, if the accreta is progressing at all and it's starting to invade organs or anything like that. I'll get a better idea of the plan, you know, when will my MRI be, when will I meet with my team, and that kind of thing. And of course, we will be able to finally confirm the gender of the baby so I can start shopping. Well, if it's a boy, I guess I won't have to do too much shopping because we have all of Beckett's stuff. But if it's a girl, then I'll probably go crazy shopping. So I guess it's probably better that we didn't find out until later, just in case. But like I said, post below your guess. Do you think baby's a boy? Do you think baby's a girl? If you have any experience with placenta accreta or previa, in any of your pregnancies, I would love to hear your stories. You know, post in the comments, let me know what your experience was. Did you deliver early? Did you have any bleeds? I'd love to know, because it's you know, you sometimes feel alone kind of when you're going through this. But I do, you know, go on support groups and stuff and read a lot of their stuff, and then you feel just a little less alone knowing other people have went through it as well. And that's also obviously another big reason why I share so much of my journey, because I don't want other people to feel like they're alone through their losses, through their IVF journeys, through their pregnancies, and of course all the complications that can come with that, which generally seems to happen in my pregnancies as well. So all right, guys, thanks again for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, my channel, and if you want to hit the little bell beside the subscribe button, and that will notify you of any new videos that I do post. All right, have a great weekend. Bye, guys.